Hello everyone, welcome to my channel, The Urban Woman. If you are watching this on Facebook, then my channel is called The Urban Woman. If you are watching me on YouTube, then my channel is called The Urban Woman Tarot and Oracle. Just so that you know, I operate from my platform, which is on Facebook. That's the one that I work from. I am learning how to use YouTube. So, I don't know exactly how it all works when it comes to having a channel. So if you would like to message me, please feel free to like my Facebook page and message me there. If you would like to send a donation, then my Cash App information is will be in the description box. I thank you to all those that donated. I am taking donations to get a new camera because the last time I did this was probably about 5 years ago. Well, that's about when I started. I guess you can say, no, I started longer than that. This camera I have, I think I got it about 5 years ago. So it's, it's old, it's outdated, and it's just a basic camera. So I'm trying to, I'm taking collections to get a new camera. So if you'd like to donate, please feel free. So if you are looking for a reading for your zodiac sign specific, those readings are posted to the YouTube channel. You can go there, you can like and subscribe and follow the YouTube channel. And then this reading here, I've kind of been up in the air about how I'm going to do it. So I would just like to say, first and foremost, that this new moon reading... Hey! You better calm it down. Sorry. My little Shih Tzu likes to do her... With Camellia, my other Shih Tzu, which she's been passed away a year now. She would have been 16 years old last year, but she was 15 and a half. I used to call what she did her doggy yoga. She would do it every morning. This other Shih Tzu I have over here, Cookie Lion Collins, I probably should have named her Ronda Rousey because she does like a MMA fighting workout every day. And she was doing that while I was shuffling the cards, getting everything saged and cleared. And I guess she came off the couch ready to fight because all of that was geared to my Pitbull Lab Mix, Axel. So anyways, excuse her. Hopefully she has calmed down. She's still eyeballing him like, I woke up this morning wishing a motherfucker would type deal. So anyways, hopefully she won't be so ratchet. Because she's a ratchet little thing. Okay? She is feisty. Anyways, moving on. So, I'm going to do a Celtic cross spread, and I'm probably going to speak fast just so this reading, isn't terribly long. But I'm going to do a Celtic cross spread reading using both of these card decks. And then I'm going to pull 3 advice cards from Believe in Your Own Magic deck. I have to say, I love this deck here. Okay? Love this deck. So, just so you know, let me see here. I'm going to sage the space really quick. There is a new moon on April 30th. Really depending on where you are, it could be, the 29th or the 28th. But for me and where I am, it is on the 30th and it hits 100. I track the moon cycle, like the phases of the moon. And I believe for me it hits like on the about 4 p.m. on the 30th. So let me just get all of that saged. And then I'm going to burn a bay leaf real quick. But, so this full moon, I'm sorry, this new moon, it's considered to be a black moon, because that means that there are 2 new moons in the month of April. So with that being said, this is called a black moon just for that sole purpose. And it is also has I think a lunar eclipse with it. It has an eclipse with it. So whatever you do, like as far as setting your intentions for, or your wishes, your new moon wishes, I set new moon wishes, okay? And I work from them throughout the next 30 days. So whatever you do, whatever you ask for and whatever you set, just know that it will and can affect you for up to 6 months, including also up to 6 years. So if you have, this would be one of those examples where, you know, like on a new moon like this years ago, I, you know, was wishing for contact from a certain person. Well, let's just say the contact never came through, and then all of a sudden 4 years later, here they pop up. Well, that's probably because of that intention or wish I set during that new moon. Things like that can happen. So just be aware of, you know, what you ask for, because you just might get it. Also, we are going straight into a Mercury retrograde, which starts like the beginning of May. I would Google what and how Mercury retrograde will affect your zodiac sign in the month of May, because at least you will know what to expect and how to navigate the month. Because depending on your element, it affects us all differently. Some of us, it will make us more tired, whereas others of us will give us more energy, but we may find that our thoughts are affected. Like, for me, for example, because each one's going to hit you differently. There's 3 to 4 Mercury retrogrades a year. Me, for example, one time, I cried the entire 3 weeks during the Mercury retrograde one time. There was a lot of purging, a lot of clearing out, and a lot of old shit that I guess I had to deal with, process, and purge to let go of. One Mercury retrograde, I am dyslexic. Man, I stuttered for 3 weeks. And I got my words mixed up. I was saying all kinds of shit. Anyways, and you know, people always laugh at me when my words get mixed up. So you know, I find it funny. I don't really take it to heart, especially when people start to pick. But but anyways, there's been a Mercury retrograde where I literally had to take a nap every day. As soon as I came home from work, I would lay on the couch and either watch TV or whatever. But I was like, outside of work, my ass was on the couch. So look into what it means for you and how it's going to affect you, because again, it will help you navigate the month. You know, this is a time for Mercury retrograde. Is not a time for action. It's actually a time for planning, because as soon as Mercury retrograde is over with, we get catapulted into everything that we decided that we needed. Now, okay, so look, when you go into a Mercury retrograde, it's like 3 weeks. So and it's a process, okay? The first week or 2 is like really thinking and problem solving. Okay, you're looking for answers. You're wanting to know why and the ifs and the buts. And then it's like by the middle to the third, you feel a shift into where you're getting clear, direct communication, and you're seeing what it is that you need to do. And you're following in that. You're like, okay, here's a plan. I know what I need to do. I want to do this right here. And usually you feel like that at like the last week in Mercury retrograde. You're like, I want to do this right here. And so that's why I say it's a 3-week process. It takes like 3 weeks to problem solve and figure this out. So you want to be easy on yourself and go with the flow here. Now, when it's over with, for real, you get catapulted into all the things that you said, like in the end, like that third week when you were like, okay, this is what I want to do. You get catapulted right into that. So be careful about what you are desiring and claiming and the things that you want to do, because you just might get it. And that's in the month of June once Mercury goes direct. So let's go ahead and get started and see what the cards have to say. So like I said, I am going to speak fast, okay? All right, right out the gate. Your commitment is being tested. So this reading right here is for the new moon. This is going to last for like the next 30 days. So whatever you have stuck to your guns about or decided to commit to, right now, your commitment's being tested. All right, so we have a time for healing. Well, this is a challenge. This is what is blocking us at the moment. We need to heal, but we're not taking the time to heal. We may find that maybe we feel like we don't have the time to really rest and try to rejuvenate. So that could seem like more of a challenge for us. All right, so in the basis of this reading, your confidence is your key to success. So I will say this. Work on your confidence. Have confidence. Know that the universe is supporting you and has your back. This confidence that you have is what's going to help you be successful. This confidence you have is what's going to help you go the long run or the long haul when it comes to the things you have committed yourself to. Now, this last full moon or last moon cycle, this could also, because this is a full moon in Aquarius, whatever the last full moon we had that was in Aquarius, or this is going all the way back to Aquarius time, which would have been January to February, you could have had a time where you felt rejuvenated and you felt good, and like a part of you just like woke up and you felt very springy and you came to life. You were feeling really good. You were showing the world the real you. I actually remember that time period right there. All right. So, during this moon cycle, we have nothing will come of this situation. This is a void of course moon. So there's going to be something here, and this is like whatever commitment here that you've made, where your commitment's being tested, around the next full moon, something's not going to come of it. So here's the deal. If you are right now, or during this new moon, if you feel like there's arguments or situations that go awry and they don't really work out for you, because keep in mind that is how a Mercury retrograde works, I would say that we are in shadow period heading into the Mercury retrograde, so we should already be feeling its energy. If you have been faced with opposition and things coming at you, I would say this is a confirmation that nothing's going to come of it. So I wouldn't really recommend feeding into it, especially if nothing's going to come of it. But now if you keep feeding, putting fire on it, then of course you'll set it ablaze. So I feel like, things that are, if something comes at you, I would just kind of like face it like it's nothing really, like shrug it off, going about your business. I know situations like that for myself, when they come, I face them with kindness and compassion, but I also take mental note, okay, maybe I shouldn't do that again, or maybe next time that happens, I'll do it this way instead of that way. I feel like that confidence right there will help lead you into a more successful root or outcome. Alright, so I would say by the next full moon, a personal issue reaches resolution. So if there's something that's been bothering you during this time period, then know that an issue some way, shape, or form is going to find resolution by the next full moon. So right now, where we are here, these are both full moon cards. And this is where we are here. So we're in this new moon center here, which also correlates to nothing's going to come of this. So whatever commitments that you've made that you feel like you're being tested, especially those tests, because sometimes they can get wonky. And if you feel like they are getting wonky and they are, if they are like explosive and or, you know, outrageous, then just know that as long as you stay calm and cool, I think that it will eventually play out in your favor. Yeah, it definitely will play out in your favor. I would just stay, you know, calm, cool, and collected and just have confidence, because I don't feel like nothing's going to come of that. Your advice. Nothing is yet set in stone. So with this right here, whatever these issues are that are here, they're not set in stone. And actually, especially with this moon and then the Mercury retrograde, nothing is going to be set in stone. Because Mercury retrogrades, they change shit up all the time. So I wouldn't really stick to my guns. And I would actually allow for things to change, like give room and the space for things to unfold and for them to change. And if I were you, I would just, okay, so look, train yourself to roll with the punches. That's why I keep pushing this navigation. Like if you look into what Mercury retrograde means for you, you know how to navigate. Because there is going to be some fiery climaxes within all this, okay? But you got to stay cool, calm, and collected. And if you stay cool, calm, and collected, then your commitment, like as long as you're invested, but you come from kindness, compassion, and patience, and humility, you will see that a resolution will come about that will be in your favor for your highest good. But your key to having this success is not only being confident, but also to not adding fire to the fire. Alright, so there's also hopes in communication here and fears of communication. Communication is key. I'm trying to tell you, boy, Mercury retrograde does a number on communication. So make sure that you are aware of that and you're planned and prepared, because Mercury rules communication and technology. So this Mercury retrograde, like it will screw up your phone, your computer, everything. But as soon as it goes direct, all the ticks that went wrong will correct themselves. So if your phone's messing up or things are acting up, don't rush off to get something new or trade it in just yet. Because contracts, for one, is something you should not do during a Mercury retrograde. Alright, so our outcome card is don't let your past hold you back. This is the South Node. Now I will tell you this, okay? Let's say you are taking a ride in a car and you're looking in your rear view mirror. Now the North Node is you looking forward and driving. The South Node is looking into the rear view mirror. That's what this is, okay? Don't let your past hold you back. I would say by the next new moon, which will be sometime in May, you could be allowing your past to hold you back. And if that's the case for you, then that means that's where you need to put extra focus, is to stop looking in the rearview mirror. Know that things change. things come and go, where one door closes, another one opens, and a new thing that I heard from, I think her name is Moonlight Guidance on Instagram. I think that's what her name is. A thing that she said, which I have started to incorporate in my own life, is God's rejection is God's redirection. Now, both of those words have RE on the front of them, which is a Mercury retrograde word. So, God's rejection is God's redirection. So, with these changes and things that you are trying to implement into your life, you need to be bold and make the first move. You've got luck on your side, but don't let pride get in the way. And you need to have faith in your dreams. Now, there is a few butterflies here, so I'm definitely, and there's also the lion. There's 2 lions and a ram. So that would be Leo and Aries. So there is a lot of fiery passion and the will and stamina to like move forward. But please keep in mind, Mercury retrograde is not a time to really move forward. Okay, it is a time for pause, to sit back, to reflect, to problem solve. You know, usually when we ask questions, like to the universe, for example, we're not always open and ready to receive them. So what happens is the answer, when we ask, the answer is given to us automatically. Okay? But we aren't a vibrational match or a vibrational frequency to receive the answer just yet. It's there. You know, that's the moment when you're like going on in life and all of a sudden you have a light bulb moment and you're like, oh yeah, there it is. Okay, see, it's been with you the whole time. But the moment you start evolving and you start raising your vibration or your frequency, then you evolve and you're ready to receive the answer. That's why we have light bulb moments. So I could definitely see how that would pan out in this situation. But keep in mind, during a Mercury retrograde, when we ask questions, there is no light bulb moment. There is no having to wait to receive the answer. It's instantaneously. You ask, and you're supposed to have an instant, direct connection to receive the answer. And when I said that, I saw 22:22 on the clock. So that there means have faith in your dreams as they are working. And we've got have faith in your dreams right here. There's also a butterfly in this card, which speaks about there are 3 phases to a butterfly. If you know what phase, if you can acclimate yourself with where you are, right, like in your situation, to the 3 phases of a butterfly, you will know exactly where you are in your healing process. So, with that being said, let's move on now to the Ascension cards. Alright. So we have the Sphinx. Hey, Miss Bobby. That's my neighbor. Alright, so I connect to the God Force within the Sphinx. Now, this card here says that let's see. So the Sphinx energy has always been on the earth and watches over us. The high priest Ra brought it from Atlantis and placed it within the statue of the Sphinx in Egypt. You receive a charge of God Force when you think about it. So relax and accept it now. The Sphinx contains the 5th dimensional records for Earth and the information within the crystal skulls. You are invited to visit the tunnel from the Sphinx to Hollow Earth, a portal of wisdom linked to the ascended aspect of Mars. From here, you can radiate peace and oneness throughout the universe. So, to activate this card, you can either, 1, think of the Sphinx, and you'll be instantly connected, or you can say, I connect to the God Force within the Sphinx. So, at this moment, there is some type of wisdom or download I feel that you are receiving or could be receiving from this moon cycle or even this Mercury retrograde. Okay. The challenge at this moment is the Veils of Illusion card. So at this time, you may not be able to see. You may feel like you are fogged or you can't really see that clear. And that's okay. Don't panic or freak out. I don't, usually when this happens before, I have kind of like panicked over my vision. And then I thought, okay, wait a minute. This isn't really my vision. This is like the illusion of that veil in front of me, of where you can't see because things are somewhat blocked or hidden from you. Now, they are always hidden from you for your highest good. So don't let that hold you back or keep you down, okay? In the basis of it, we have the Intergalactic Council, and so you can affirm by saying, I visit the Intergalactic Council today. Now, this Intergalactic Council consists of 12 great masters. Now, they make decisions for the highest good of the universe. So this can include Marco, Hilarion, Jesus, Ashtar, Cthulhu, El Mariah, Paul the Venetian, Saint Germain, Kuan Yin, Lady Nada, Serapis Bey, Lord Maitreya. So saying or thinking their names raises your frequency. Recognize you're a multidimensional being. Connect with your deepest wisdom and focus on the well-being of the universe. Your guidance is to call upon Angel Budilil to take you to the Intergalactic Council in meditation or sleep and offer to serve the universe. This will greatly expand your consciousness. So I'm just going to say this. You're being called on to serve a greater purpose here. Do not let the flesh, which would be the weaker things of this universe, because remember, the flesh is weak, okay? The flesh is where the ego comes from. Your ego is not your amigo. So do not let your ego pull you down just because we're in the midst of, like this moon cycle here has the solar eclipse. It also has sun flares. Solar flares, look into that. There's also like an astrological, a planetary alignment that's coming up where like all 4 or 5 planets are supposed to line up beside the moon. There's like meteor showers. This May has like an eclipse. We are going to have a lunar eclipse with this new moon. Now, we will have like a solar eclipse or whatever that other eclipse thing is on the full moon, which occurs during May. So eclipses can cause, eclipses cause like higher impacts of shit. So just remember that, while all this is going on, don't let it wall you into a corner and keep you small. Because you're bigger than that. You have a greater purpose than that. It's evident right here with this card. Okay? This card here is saying, and I love this card and I love getting this card because this card reminds me that I have a bigger purpose than just how I'm feeling. So, if you feel down at any point in time, call upon the Intergalactic Council, these people. Focus and meditate upon the Sphinx. Know that things aren't going to be as they seem. Now, there was some shape or form in the past, or you need to go ahead and start this now once you see this video, Archangel Metatron's retreat. There's a lot of Egypt is really coming through right here. So you could have had a past life in Egypt where you learned all this wisdom. It's just within you. These veils of illusion could be the thing that's keeping you from seeing that or realizing that. I would say that you should work with this energy to help you during this month or this moon cycle. Because this is going to last for the next 30 days at least. So, Archangel Metatron's retreat is above the temple of Luxor in Egypt, where he holds the ascension energy for the world. He maintains this energy by bringing forward spiritual discipline. He suggests you commit to a spiritual practice if you do not already have one. Luxor is the spiritual throat chakra of the earth. As it ascends, people would communicate higher wisdom and link telepathically with all life forms. You are asked to send love and wisdom to all sentient beings. This card invites you to visit Metatron's retreat in your sleep to accelerate your spiritual growth. So you can affirm this by saying, I am visiting Metatron's retreat in my sleep tonight. Now, I did that one time, and I remember that dream. I remember going to see him. He met me, and let me just tell you that if you've ever watched the movie Guardians of the Galaxy, you know, they're always flying through space. Well, I did this long before Guardians of the Galaxy ever came out. I didn't really know how to explain this until I saw Guardians of the Galaxy. But I was just like, so he was standing there. And then I just kind of like appeared and walked to him where he met me. And he took his arm and, you know, reached out from right to left and was like, here's the universe. Because I wanted to see, and I had been asking to see the universe and what it looked like. Space, okay? I wanted to see the expansion of the universe. So I saw it, and it was the most beautiful thing. And then, of course, when Guardians of the Galaxy came out, I was actually able to be like, oh my gosh, like I saw that in my dream. But, you know, it was the black and the purple. Everything was like black and purple. And it was beautiful. And I will say, it was a lot like, you know, the purple right in here on this card. And it was the most beautiful thing I think I've ever seen. So anyways, just know that if you go ahead and start a spiritual practice now, it will help you work through these energies and navigate the month. Alright, so presently speaking, we have Planet Earth. This card invites you to connect to Lady Gaia, the angel in charge of our planet, as well as to Taya, the elemental master of Earth, and his earth elementals, including goblins and pixies. Invoke Master, and I can never say this name right, Reikoski, Master of the 11th ray of mysticism, to help you attune to the wisdom of our glorious planet and listen to its heartbeat. To further expand your consciousness, ask the Earth Dragons to help you connect to Hollow Earth and Lemurian wisdom. Earth loves, nurtures, and welcomes you. So this is a card of joy and celebration. So you can invoke that by saying, I thank Lady Gaia for inviting me to be on Earth. So with this card here, I take this as the, I mean, you have to, I always look at it as everything is connected. Okay, everything is connected. If you can connect the dots or know where to, or train yourself to make the connections. Okay, so whatever is affecting us in space on an astrological level or astronomy, whichever, with the planets, that is going to affect the Earth. I mean, we have these solar flares that we're supposed to have. There's also supposed to be a meteor shower the weekend. Like I think the day that I'm making this video is the last day we're supposed to be able to see the meteor shower. So, if you know that these things are going on in space, then these things would also be affecting the planets, and they would also affect anything that inhabits the planets. So that would be us, and then that would also too be like all the creatures and the animals and on the physical level and the spiritual level, the spiritual plane that are upon the earth. So I would definitely suggest finding a spiritual practice and really focus upon that and let that be your guiding light throughout this month. Alright, so what we are moving into is the air card. The element of air supports truly magical cosmic qualities. Sylphs are air elementals working for the elemental master Dom and supervised by the unicorns. You are guided to ask the unicorns to direct Dom and his sylphs to spread the qualities of air enlightenment, ascension, enthusiasm, freedom, and divine vision into the minds of those who need them. Also ask them to purify currents of air and blow them to polluted areas so that they may be cleansed. Help the fairies work with flowers by acknowledging and appreciating them. Okay. This spread here really speaks of, if you're watching this, then I would say you are one of, you are either like, you consider yourself an earth angel, an indigo, all those subtitles that make us different, okay? You are one of them. So, with everything that's going on in space, which I would definitely say in space, because we have the Intergalactic Council, which resides, in space outside of Earth, okay, which is right here under it. We've got the Sphinx, which connects us from the Earth to space, especially to Mars, as the cards suggest. There is veils of illusion that are here on everyone. We know and can see when someone is asleep, when someone's not woke. We also know and can recognize people that are spiritual, that are awake. Okay, so I would say that this here is telling you that there could be tension and problems with people that aren't awake. When you see that, you need to practice and train yourself to know and to recognize it. Because you don't want to you don't want to get into an argument with an idiot. I mean, you got to, like pigeons, for example, okay? Pigeons will flaunt and walk around somewhat like rooster chickens sometimes. But pigeons, I remember this example the most. Pigeons will shit all over the ground and walk around in it and flap their feathers like they're all proud and like they're tough shit. But it's like, you're sitting there walking around in your own shit doing that. Well, people that are asleep do that as well. So I would say, if you, and also too, I don't recommend getting into an argument with someone that's asleep, that's not woke, because you're just adding fuel to the fire and no one benefits. And the next thing you know, you have gotten into an argument with someone and it's done beat you up, left you tired and wounded, and you're like, how the hell do you recover from this? So don't engage in that. Step back, turn the other cheek, go home into your spiritual, retreat area, and do these things here behind the scenes. Call upon the air. Ask air to go to this person and to clear out the negativity. Go to Archangel Metatron's retreat and ask him for whatever knowledge or wisdom you need, because there is somewhat, in a shape or form, a download here of cosmic wisdom and knowledge. So work with these powers here to help you during this time. Your advice is to invoke fire to light my way to the new golden age. So fire transmutes the old and takes the new to a higher frequency. Archangel Gabriel supervises Thor, the elemental master of fire, and his salamanders. Your guidance is to ask them to transform the energy of conflict and then spread peace, warmth, and nourishment to the people everywhere. You can ask fire to help you eat the right food so that you have the perfect fuel for your ascension journey. It will also ignite your aura and keep your chakras fifth-dimensional and glowing so that you attract many others to you and lead with inspiration. So that's your advice. I would focus upon your diet this moon cycle. I would only really engage with people that were like-minded. If you engage with those that are asleep, I would just keep it simple. You can always, go home or go into solitude later and practice things behind the scenes to help the situation. And especially if you do that, then I feel like you're going to notice that not only that the universe has your back, but I think you're going to see how the universe works. I feel like it's going to open or expand your consciousness and help you elevate. Now, keep in mind, though you might be elevating, others can also descend, especially when they're asleep and they don't actually aren't aware of what's going on. You know, like people that are asleep, they don't feel like, you know, the planets affect us. They're like, you know, Mercury, what? Is that really a thing? I don't think it is. I had one chick who was in denial about Mercury retrograde, and I talked about it and I talked about it, and she didn't want to believe it, at all. And then she came to me a year later and was like, this Mercury retrograde thing you were talking about, is it happening right now? And I came back to her and I was like, yes, we are actually in the 3rd week of it. It should end here soon. And she was like, oh my God, I have been feeling everything you said about it before, like right now. I knew something had to be going on. And it's like, you know, ever since then, she has been waking up to that more and more. So, you know, even though you may not be physically seeing results right now, just know that the ideas and things that you planted in the past, especially like with this card here, they could come back later on. Alright, so in your environment, there is Lemurian healing. So, I send Lemurian healing to the earth. This reading, I feel, is really asking you to go into solitude and to work with these beings here to help heal and bring healing upon the earth, and to awake and to bring knowledge and wisdom and to spread it and to clear out the negativity and help to promote, you know, an uplifting or a rise in frequency. So I would work on that during this moon cycle, because something about that's very key and important. But this environmental external thing, there is healing that we need to bring into awareness. So Lemurians were 5th dimensional, androgynous beings who loved and wanted to heal the earth. They drew the love of God through the cosmic cart into this planet. Now that could also be connecting to the Sphinx. Lemurians gathered the divine qualities from our energy fields and that of other stars, adding to this pure source light in order to form healing crystals to help us through the transition to the new golden age. The Lemurians then placed these healing crystals in the earth to light up the ley lines. Even now, when 2 or more gather with humility to focus these crystals, powerful healing takes place. So I'm going to say that there's a lot of healing around us. We should see it, and I'm going to say probably after Mercury retrograde's over, the middle of June, we should see healing and people really changing, and I would say evolving, and a frequency and the dimensions are being affected as well. So I would say by the middle of June, we should see an elevation in the people around us and that of the world too. So there are some hopes and fears about being able to connect to higher wisdom. Just know that if you have these fears, I would go outside and find the planet Sirius, which Sirius is a very bright light. Sirius has a different light than the normal planets and or stars. Sirius, if you look at it and stare at it, you'll see that it goes from blue, white, red, or red, white, blue. It constantly changes. It's like this: blue, white, red, red, white, blue, blue, white, red, red, white. You'll see how the color, how the flashes of it, and it is extremely bright. It also is, let's say, so where Orion is, and if you can find Orion, because you know you've got Orion's belt, and then you have Orion. Okay, so at the bottom of Orion's foot, which would be on the left, a little bit behind his foot is where Sirius rides. So if you can find Orion in the sky at night, then look to the left past his foot. It's not up near his head, it's down by his feet. You will see Sirius. They say that if you stare at Sirius, you will, and if you connect to it and stare at it, that you will receive cosmic downloads of information. Alright, so the outcome for this is Neptune. Neptune is the planet of higher spirituality, and the wisdom of Atlantis and Lemuria is held within its ascended aspect. You are blessed for you only receive this card when you are ready to receive their information. Your guidance is to tune into your Earth Star chakra and then connect with Neptune, the cosmic Earth Star chakra. Archangel Sandalphon oversees this center. He nurtures your divine potential and will help you download the spiritual light you are waiting for. This will expand your consciousness and greatly assist your ascension journey. I attune to the wisdom of Atlantis and Lemuria held in Neptune. Alright, so this card here is also on top of Don't Let Your Past Hold You Back. So either the end of May, you're going to notice that things from your past are resurfacing. That could be to help with your spirituality. It could be to help you rise in vibration, help elevate you in some way, shape, or form. There could be lessons that you will be learning from the past, or you might actually, with this Veil of Illusion card, be seeing, you could actually very well be seeing like things that you did in the past. You could be receiving information about why they had to happen, why that happened, and why it went down the way it did. But just know that when this card here comes up, this card here blesses you. So, this is saying that you are blessed, because when you receive this card, you're ready to receive information. So there's some type of download or ascension that you're going to be receiving and going through here, that you should see the full benefits of it at the end of May, I think. Alright, so our Believe in Your Own Magic, we have Gray. Endings are inevitable. Castle. It is time for healing, not war. And our last one, the Phoenix. How's that for a happily ever after? So, alright. Some things are going to be ending. I mean, you got to keep in mind now, Mercury retrograde can fuck shit up, okay? I'm not going to sugarcoat it for you. It can really fuck shit up, okay? But just know that just because. Now, during this time period, you could have some nostalgia. Keep in mind, we're supposed to be healing, okay? We're not supposed to be out here, wreaking havoc and making things happen, because you'll be working against yourself if you do that. Know that whatever endings are coming in are necessary. This is a time to heal, not the time for war. So try not to be protesting and fighting or going against the energies. You want to go with the flow and meet it and face it with confidence, humility, kindness, patience. And I would say by the end of this, which is, I would also say too, which is connected to this Neptune card, that you will come out of this like a phoenix, some way, shape, or form. There is, because like the page on this book here says once upon a time. So I feel like you will be able to, you may not see it now, but in a year or two you may look back and say, oh, well, once upon a time I remember when that happened. But this is when you are going to arise out of this situation like a phoenix. And I feel like the universe is going to be like, how's that for a happily ever after? I think you're going to be shocked, but that would be more so toward the end of the month. Now, during all this, please call upon Archangel Metatron, Lady Portia, and the animals, and even Commander Ashtar, who are all named in this Intergalactic Council card. Metatron will help open doors for you and help guide you. Lady Portia will help bring fair-minded, open-hearted, and non-judgmental energies around you. And the animals you can call upon for help and support. And with Commander Ashtar, you are blessed, for this is a card of expanded enlightenment and a call to intergalactic service. So you may be receiving all kinds of knowledge, wisdom. You could definitely get this in your sleep, okay? So how can you, with the knowledge and the wisdom that you receive, how can you then bring this out into your daily life and give it and show it to the world? So that right there might be the key for you this month. And if that's the case, then like the butterfly, you need to go into your cocoon. You need to allow parts of you, like the old, the outdated, and the worn out, you need to allow them to die and shed. Take sea salt baths. Get near water, which can be cleansing and healing. Use some sage. Do whatever you got to do to really help to cleanse and to purge and to restore. So that when you come out of this, you are literally the phoenix rising from the ashes. Or you were once the caterpillar, well, you come out of this like the butterfly. Alright, I thank you all for tuning in and joining me. I hope this reading helps you and finds you well. Take care. I'll see you again here soon. Namaste.